So you mean to tell me CNN is fake news? What? 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 This video is brought to you by Extreme Tees. Click on the link below. Make sure you put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. What's going on, America? Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. By now, y'all heard, if you watch my channel, or if you are relatively conservative, the CNN is fake news. Now, I know Trump said it a long time ago, and CNN got upset. They were offended. Brian Stelter, Jim Acosta, they will admit to President, why do you keep calling us the fake news? Because you are. Because you are. Project Veritas strikes again, man. So part 2 of CNN being fake news. Now, this one is really disturbing, y'all. They are using the COVID-19 narrative to drive ratings and to instill fear within the American people. Let's go in and check it out.
COVID, gangbusters with ratings. Gangbusters with ratings, right? Which is why we constantly have the death toll on the side. Let's make it higher. Like, why isn't it high enough, today? Like, it would make our point better if it was higher. It's fear. Like, fear really drives numbers. Fear is the thing that keeps you.
Fear? False evidence appearing real? That's what you're telling me that's going on over there at CNN? And they got a hold to that. They understand. If we create the perception of something and the threat that it could happen, that's enough to make people either be interested or quick to overlook their personal civil liberties for their safety, which really isn't in jeopardy, but it's the perception that it is. False evidence appearing real. Unlike CNN, who isn't real. Fake news.
If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah.
If it bleeds, it leads?
Yeah. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious. What they're actually doing, telling the person what to say. It's an art form. It's always leading them in a direction before they even open their mouth. It's fear. Like, fear really drives.
Y'all hear that? No wonder they only bring on people who either they know are bubbleheads enough to where they don't see them giving leading questions and taking them towards something, or making suggestions instead of asking questions, but forming the suggestion, in the package of a question, trying to pretend. So before you actually get to the question, here's the art. This is how it works. See, we see it all the time with fake news.
Mr. President, you know what? A lot of American people call you a white nationalist and a racist, and perhaps a KKK member. And they talk about how you lie 73,000 times a second, and how you're evil, and how you hate all non-Americans and Latinos, and call everybody else dirty, nasty, stinking criminals, and how you be out there saying stuff like asshole countries and things like that, and how you want to keep America white. All of the folks is out there saying that. But I just want to know, how do you feel about the upcoming economic threat to America?
What does that have to do with this question? You just went and gave a 5-minute monologue bringing up all these thoughts that you want to put into people's head and trying to lie and make it seem like it's a lead into my real question. But really, that's the part that I want everybody to take away from it. Okay.
On the campaign trail, you called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also saying that the president.
It's such a racist question.
Now the Republican Party is seen as supporting white nationalists because of your rhetoric. What do you make of that?
I don't believe it. I don't know. Why do I have my highest poll numbers ever with African Americans?
How do you see your role as a moral leader?
Go ahead,
Mr. President, just how do you see your role as a moral leader?
Go ahead. That's enough.
Ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am.
Excuse me. That's enough.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
Okay, hang on. Sorry. Oh, Singmin, Miss Kim.
Michael Cohen recently said you called black voters stupid.
That's false.
Omarosa has accused you of using the N-word, and the rapper Little John has said you called him Uncle Tom. What's your response?
I don't know who Little John is. I really
He was on The Apprentice.
I don't know. Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Have you ever made racist remarks?
No, I would never do that, and I don't use racist remarks.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway.
Why are you pitting Americans against one another, sir?
I'm not.
Is that how you view citizens of this country?
I'll tell you what, we won a lot of elections last night.
Do you think that you demonized immigrants in
Not
this
at all.
election
No, not
to
at all.
try
I
to
want
keep
them. I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process.
your campaign?
Wait.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of
You know
miles
what?
away. That's
I
not
think
an
you
invasion.
should, honestly, you know what?
Away. That's
I
not
think
an
you should,
invasion.
honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down?
Are you gonna include the CBC, Mr. President, in your conversations with your urban agenda, your inner city agenda, as well as?
Am I going to include?
Are you going to include the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional?
Well, I
Hispanic
would. I
Caucus,
tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours? No, set up the meeting.
I know some of them.
Diplomacy, can you define what you mean? And former President Obama warned the incoming President Trump that North Korea was the top foreign policy issue that he was watching. Is that how you assess the crisis in North Korea?
Yes. Okay, hang on a second here. Kristen,
Tomorrow they will say, Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people. But I'm not ranting and raving. I love this. I'm having a good time doing it.
Or bringing somebody on their show that they want to push a policy, like the whole voter thing.
Republicans who are passing bill after bill, trying to restrict voting rights. Chuck Schumer is calling it an existential threat to democracy. Why not back a filibuster rule?
I believe we should go back to a position of the filibuster that existed just when I came to the United States Senate 120 years ago. I had a card on this. I was going to give you the statistics, but you probably know them.
Republican legislatures across the country are working to pass bills that would restrict voting. Are you worried that if you don't manage to pass voting rights legislation, that your party is going to lose seats and possibly lose control of the House and the Senate in 2022?
What I'm worried about is how un-American this whole initiative is.
Thanks so much, Mr. President. You've said over and over again that immigrants shouldn't come to this country right now. This isn't the time to come. That message is not being received. Instead, the perception of you that got you elected as a moral, decent man is the reason why a lot of immigrants are coming to this country and entrusting you with unaccompanied minors. How do you resolve that tension? And how are you choosing which families can stay and which can go, given the fact that even though with Title 42, there are some families that are staying? And is there a timeline for when we won't be seeing these overcrowded facilities run by CPB when it comes to unaccompanied minors?
Well, look, I guess I should be flattered. People are coming because I'm the nice guy. That's the reason why it's happening. That I'm a decent man, or however it's phrased. That's why they're coming, because Biden's a good guy.
She gave pretext to the actual question that she asked, implying that Joe Biden is such a decent, moral person. And this is coming from the exact same person who called Trump supporters essentially white supremacists, who called the president the exact same thing, President Donald Trump that is, and went after him, asking the most partisan, tough questions every single time she had a chance. Now with Joe Biden in front of her with serious scandal brewing, like a good Democrat partisan operative that she is, that was the question that she asked. It's absolutely despicable. And the response that old Joe gave, of course, Yamit Alcindor tossing him a softball in a soft underhand throw, gives Joe Biden the context that he needs to try to take a victory lap. As the suffering continues at the southern border, he's gloating about how he's flattered that people are coming over because he's such a nice guy.
Now, people have talked about, this whole thing going on down in Georgia, and there's a little controversy surrounding it. But why not support this when the overwhelming amount of African Americans, which I've done no study on or have any data, but why not support this when so many white nationalists and other people are opposed to it? Isn't this something that you think is important, and why don't you support this?
There it is. Well, I'm glad you asked. Actually, I was saying that myself. I do support this. Okay, so what you just did is threw me a pass. Both of us working together, pretending that we're not on the same side. We're playing good cop, bad cop. All you're doing is giving me a lead in to the policy that I want to throw out there to the people. Y'all see how it works? I've been peeping this out for years with them. Unfortunately, there's so many who don't. Let's continue.
Fear is the thing that keeps you tuned in.
What actually happens when a network cares more about ratings than the truth? In the case of CNN, owned by parent company Warner Media, it seems that CNN has resorted to other means in order to keep you watching.
Y'all hear that? So you know what happens is you become a propaganda network. You become the enemy of the people. Just like Trump said, fake news is the enemy of the people. They pushed a pandemic, made it look like people were dying as they were walking down the street, causing fear, having folks, just cower in their houses. They went out attacking folks. Excuse me, why are you out here without a mask on? Are you a super spreader? But yet at the same time, their cameramen standing behind the camera, no mask, no nothing. We found out that they are what they say they are not, unlike their commercial. This is an apple. This is a banana. A banana is not an apple. See, when you have to push propaganda in commercials like that to tell me and combat the narrative that you're not fake news, well, you're fake news. They know it. They've always known it. But these folks that work for them are willing to prostitute themselves for that cheese. And I get it. There's a lot of cheese for these folks to get on TV and lie. But man, at the detriment of our society, ripping us apart, this is crazy. Scaring us over an agenda for these globalists with this whole you know what? This is ridiculous. And something needs to happen, starting with the fact that I need to see Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of those guys. I want to see all of them ban CNN. I want to see them take CNN off their platform for sowing disinformation. I want to see all of that happen. I want my video views to go like that and not be suppressed, not be throttled down. Yeah, I want to see my subscribers skyrocket and not them keeping them at 195 for like 6 months. I want to see things like that happen because all of the stuff that we've been claiming about CNN is true, but yet they're supposed to be the most trusted name in news. I don't understand why they're not snatched down off all these platforms yet for lying. Oh, could it be because those same platforms are also in cahoots with CNN and the Democrats and these globalists? There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. But all this does is confirm what we all knew. CNN is fake news. God bless y'all. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.
The credo of journalism: inform the people. You have an obligation and a duty to the people.
Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. The link is below this video. If you click on it and put Kevin in a promo code, you'll get a 20% discount. And finally, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And if you'd like to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links below this video to do that as well. Okay, God bless you and God bless America.